Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chat. I'm Chloe, and this is Will.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing, guys?
How are we doing? So we're very sad because this is the second to last Bad Batch breakdown that we're going to be doing because next week is the last one.
I can't believe it. I
Mhm.
can't believe next week is the last episode of the Bad Batch.
Okay.
Like I mentioned to you earlier today, actually, I was hoping, or something still tells me and believes we're gonna get like, oh, by the way, we're gonna do another series of the Bad Batch, or we're
Very
gonna
true.
do a spin-off show of the Bad Batch, which is gonna be like Rex and the clones or something. Like I just don't know. How can you just end
Yeah,
this story?
I know.
So
I mean, they did that with Mandalorian, where they announced like Book of Boba Fett after the credits. So who knows? We'll hold our hope.
fingers
And I
crossed.
reckon next week's episode is going to be a long one as well.
Yes. Now I don't think we know the length of it yet,
No.
but I'm just saying it out there now. There is no way you can end the whole Bad Batch story like in half, like 28 minutes, 27 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that.
In about half an hour. No.
Even less, because I think the episodes as a full are like 27, 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're doing about 25 as a thing. There is no way you can tie up
No.
the clones reuniting with Omega and getting out of Tantis. The spoilers, by the way, in case you haven't seen the episode, I'll give you a little couple of seconds to go. The Zilla Beast, Rex and his boys, what's happening with them? There's so many different storylines that need to end.
Yeah.
It has to be like an hour plus.
Yeah.
So, please.
Yes.
Yes, so we have episode 14 to break down for you guys today. We also have some news, as usual. When don't we have news on this show?
Yeah, there's always something new that gets announced.
I know, and the worst thing is, if we miss a week, like we have the other times, you end up with a mega episode because we're doing 2 episodes.
Yeah. Catching up with all the news.
Yes. Now, just a little reminder: next week's episode is going to be an early one because of personal activities going on that we have to attend to. So there's that. But so it will be earlier. We will keep you updated on our socials, and we have decided that we are going to do an episode next week because if we didn't do an episode next week, we would be in awful trouble.
Yeah.
Because we have the finale of the Bad Batch next Wednesday, and then 3 days later, on May the 4th, I believe we have the Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of
the Empire. Sorry,
yeah.
My bad. And we think it's going to be released in its entirety.
Hopefully. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure with Tales of the Jedi, when that came out, it was the whole season and not just one every week. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I think they were slightly shorter episodes, weren't they?
Yeah, because they were. They're not a song. But yeah, so if we didn't have an episode next week, we would be having the following week Tales of the Empire, Bad Batch finale, and there's too much to talk about. So we're going to do one next week. It's going to be a lot earlier. It's going to be about lunchtime. But yeah.
We'll let you know as soon as the time on our stories with Instagram and TikTok.
Yes. Now, we haven't got pictures of them, but do you want to tell them about the popcorn bucket?
Yeah, so if you didn't know, the Phantom Menace is at 25th anniversary this year. So because of May the 4th, they're going to be airing it in cinemas. But also, I seen a video the other day where in America there's popcorn buckets and cups. They're already on sale, so I don't know if they're going to be in cinemas over here or if they are just an American thing. I believe the prices, so the buckets were $15 and the cups were, I think, $7.50. So yeah, but if we do go see it, then we'll let you guys know if people are selling them in cinemas over here.
Well, our aim is to sort of go next Saturday because it isn't just on the 3rd.
Yeah.
That it's coming out, but it is like on that weekend.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and see it on the Saturday. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Hopefully, see, this is the thing. I really like this, like popcorn buckets and the soda like drinks.
Yeah.
Cups, but it's not really a massive thing over here.
No.
You know, I know they used to do like sort of like the plastic ones because I've got a Rogue One when it came out.
I think it's the
and
same.
It had like a little topper, but I think they're metal, these ones, by the looks of it. If you look at it, it looks quite like a shiny. So yeah, it's not really a big thing over here, but if you do listen to the podcast or watch it and you know somewhere in the UK where you can buy these ones, let us know. Email us at the501stcomchatter.com at gmail.com, or message us on one of our socials because we would probably like to get one if we can.
That'd be fun.
Even if it's not a bucket, but if it's like a cat,
just one of
like
the cups. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be quite cool. So that'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't do one for the Return of the Jedi screenings, but they did do a poster for that one. So maybe they're changing it up this time.
I think, it depends on the company that's doing it. Like, Showcase were doing the posters, but View weren't showing the film.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, over here, View are showing the film. And I don't know if Showcase is, so, it's a bit. But, yeah, that'd be something to look forward to.
Very cool.
We have some hot toys to start us off with this week.
We do.
And we're starting off with my boy. Oh, look at him. Sorry, he is so good. So this, for any of you who are listening, this is the Darth Revan Legends hot toy.
Zoom into.
We're going to zoom in, look at the detail on him.
Darth Revan.
Looks very cool, very detailed.
Yeah.
So this is pre-order. Hot Toy tends to. They will release images and pre-order of a figure that you can't even get till next year.
Yeah.
So if I was to put down if I was to pay it in installments, my first installment would be from April next year. So I would get this figure about September next year. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will admit it is very cool. As you can see, the lightsaber designs are his specific ones. The robes itself look very, unique and spot on.
They've got like the little pleats in them.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, so there is 2 versions available. They've done the same with the next figure as well, but you can get this what they call the collector's edition, which is just the figure basically, or you can get the side show exclusive, which comes with a coin, and it's like Darth Revan hot toy, Darth Revan Sith Lord, whatever, and it's got a little thing on him, and it looks quite cool, and the price is actually the same as well, which is quite interesting. So yeah, so I might get this one. I mean, here's the iconic sort of picture, I know a certain someone in this room has been drawing me this said picture. Haven't seen it in a while, but yeah. But this is obviously the famous one of him with his arms crossed with the lightsabers. again, look at the detail on like the mask,
and
hopefully, for cosplayers as well.
Mm.
I'm not saying the ones that I've seen haven't been good, because I have seen some very good Revans.
Yeah.
But this could be a good way to help refine your cosplay. Because if you're looking at this and you can see, oh, he's got markings there I didn't have on mine. This is a good thing to go off.
I must say, the Funko has like gold on his mask, but this one doesn't. So I think this is a different mask. I reckon he's got a couple different masks, because I think...
Well, because we've never really seen it in a film, we haven't really got anything to go by.
Yeah.
But
I have seen like different cosplayers.
It's also different by the looks of it to the Jedi Revan as well.
Mm.
So it is a bit different, but
yeah,
I quite like it. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe I'll get this.
Yeah.
We have a Lord Starkiller.
Starkiller.
I think you'd like this one.
Yeah. He's quite cool.
So this, for any of you who don't know who Starkiller is,
he's from the Force Unleashed games, and they released a Sith edition where Starkiller was wearing this outfit. I believe he's also wearing that mask at like the end of the first game.
End.
Yeah,
you get there's basically end. Like two ends. There's like the good end where you sort of die, but then there's the bad end where you basically become the new Vader.
Yeah.
And you get put in this sort of
outfit.
Yeah. And he is a menace to society, but it's interesting that this is part of the Legends range. Looks very detailed and cool. He doesn't come with like a face sculpt, so he just but he does have like the other lightsaber bit, which you can add to his hands, and obviously he's got all these like knife fingers and very cool.
Very cool. It makes me think: are they gonna release a like Galen Marek, like his?
Oh, maybe
his good kind of version.
Yeah.
Before
I can see them doing that. Yeah.
With like Sam Witwer face sculpt.
So then we go on to BT1. This is a droid that accompanies another sort of assassin droid that is coming up next. But they're in the comics. They are also in the Galaxy Quest game. Galactic Heroes game, sorry, the mobile game.
Yeah.
So BT1 is like an assassin droid, but as you can see, he is armed. He looks like R5. He's got the red sort of eye.
Yeah.
He's sort of painted black and sort of navy, like it's all dark colours. And yeah, this is very cool. Again, if you're a bit of a collector and like him, why not get? And to go with him, we have 000.
000.
Which is basically the C-3PO version.
Yeah.
To go with the BT1. So
he looks just like C-3PO, but he has
like
red eyes.
He's like a chrome, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like a silver chrome, and he's got like loads of tools in his hands. It's almost like if you imagine C-3PO to be like
Edward Scissorhands.
Evil and mixed with Edward Scissorhands, this is 000 for you. So he's in the Dr. Aphra comics?
Yes, he's the companion of BT1. They work together.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is it's not confirmed, but there is a sort of maybe 2-second clip in the Star Wars Outlaws trailer where there is a Rodian working on the back of a chrome protocol droid, and he sort of like falls over. Could it be?
Maybe it's him.
Could it be 000? So that would be cool if it is like they brought them into it as well. So cool. I'll let you talk this one.
So we have a stormtrooper. Hot Toys. So this one, it comes with like a Death Star panel that you can display it with. And I thought this one was actually really cool because he's got the green lenses, which a lot of people think the Stormtrooper's got the black lenses, but it's because they're so dark. But they are actually green.
So, I mean, here I think it looks almost a bit too green. But
yeah.
I think the figure itself looks very cool and very decent. Like you can see the like
bits of dirt.
And
very cool.
Another one here that's sort of.
And Stormtroopers, like, it's such an iconic like outfit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
plus, I like the Death Star environment behind it.
Yeah,
sort of
like I've seen people make those for their Hot Toys, but now you actually get one with this one. But you know, if you've got like a Darth Vader Hot Toy as well, this will look really nice next to it. So I think this one's going to be quite popular.
I think as well, people who have maybe quite a bit of money to spare, they might buy a couple of these just for the background panels.
They might.
So then they can have like Vader stood behind, like with two stormtroopers behind it.
That'd be cool.
You wait. There's going to be one. Someone's going to do it.
Yeah. Maybe they'll turn them into night troopers as well.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So again, this is a Hot Toys exclusive. This is a Commander Cody Chrome version. Don't really like this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I like Cody and I feel like the colour in his outfit sort of make him stand out.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if this was like Rex? It wouldn't work because of his markings, and it's like, you know, that very easily could be Vaughn or Fox.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now, I know that he does come with his Phase 1 armour as well, like his helmet and that. But me personally, Phase 2 is the better one. But still, I'd rather just have the normal Cody than the Chrome version.
Yeah. I think it's trying to make him look like Mando.
Speaking of Mando.
Yes.
We have a vintage collection from The Mandalorian Season 3, I believe.
Yes.
This is a Mandalorian Judge.
I think this is the one where you've got that it's like the son of Paz Vizsla
versus Grogu.
And then this is the judge that judges them.
Yep.
So I think it's quite cool, but it's not one that I would get.
So if you were to
work, he's like a background character.
So for those who are listening, if you were to work out which one he is, Mandalorian Judge is the one with the orange helmet, but with the like blue visor, like blue edges around the visor. So,
and he's got like a little cape.
He's got a cape. He's got a little backpack, sort of orange backpack. So yeah. Last vintage collection we have
Cal Kestis
in Imperial uniform.
Yeah.
So
it looks very similar to Thrawn's actually. So he's got like the baggy thighs and like the white top.
Yeah, and the blaster holster.
Yeah. And BD1 has had a little paint job as well.
Yes.
So this is from Jedi Survivor.
Yeah. This is one of the cosmetics. You can put Cal in and change BD1 to look like.
Yeah.
I'm one of these. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm one of these gamers that when I play, I don't really customize.
Yeah.
The character of that on a first playthrough, because like I want to enjoy the main story as how they were meant to look, sort of thing. But
I'm the same.
It is quite cool. I do like it. It does not do too bad.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit better, but so yes.
That
was the news.
All the news. So now we're on to episode 14 of the Bad Batch.
Flash Strike.
Da, da, da.
I was a bit interested, a bit nervous about this one because I didn't know how they were gonna do it. Is there gonna be so we say, major death in this episode before the finale?
Yeah.
There isn't. Thank the Lord. I mean, it sets up the finale quite well. It puts most of the players on the board ready for the finale, really, doesn't it? There's still a couple of people that were like, are they going to show up? What's going to happen? So there is still a lot to be decided. But do you want to start us off then?
Yeah. So obviously how we left off last episode was Hunter magnetizing to the bottom of this ship.
The science vessel.
Just before it jumps to hyperspace. And you got Echo inside the other ship. So we start off right where we left off. We're going through hyperspace and we've got the ship underneath. So Hunter is obviously planning on, right, we're getting to Tantis. When we get into the planet, we'll safely unhook from this ship, and he's planning out the mission. We've actually got another picture of the ship on the bottom as well. Which this is interesting to me because you see clips of them stood inside the ship, but they're not like upside down, so I don't quite know how they're doing that.
I think it's got its own like gravity.
Yeah, it must do.
Because I was gonna say that actually.
Yeah.
After this clip, it zooms in on the cockpit, and you can see like Hunter, and he's basically to us, he's like upside down. He's like da-da-da. And then the next shot, he sort of comes down, and they're all in the hole, like in the hold, and so, well, clearly it's got its own gravity, and they're the right way up. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing that.
No.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah. It's funny.
But yeah, so we see that obviously they've got a plan.
Yep. They've got Rampart with them.
And Rampart is still like, they're gonna detect us straight away. We're gonna get shot down.
Yeah.
And then they're like, right, we're coming out of hyperspace. Get yourself ready, basically.
Yep.
Which I think was quite cool. And then we have
Omega,
and she's in the vault.
She is. So they're all playing like their car games. I don't think we quite see her yet.
No, I think the next bit is actually this one.
This bit, yeah.
So we see Hemlock sort of enter one of the command rooms in the in Tantis, and Scorch is in there. Now again, Scorch is like the main guy in this, like one of the main clone baddies.
He is.
But it is quite interesting that they have notable names. So
yeah.
And Hemlock's like, what's the update on the science vessel? And he's like, Scorch is like, it's on its way, but we might have a security breach. Now, in one of the videos we saw, they did mention how, in fairness, they were really quick onto the Bad Batch. Like, we thought it was, the normal thing would have been like, oh, I think it's all right. There was a bit of a trouble at the space station, but it's nothing to worry about. But Scorch informs Hemlock that the Clone Force 99 infiltrated the orbital station over Coruscant.
Yep.
With Rampart.
Yeah.
And escaped on a shuttle, and it disappeared the same time as the science vessel.
Yeah. So they know who they're looking for, and they suspect something's up. So they basically say, right, I think Hemlock says, search aerospace. Like basically as soon as they come into Tantis, search around the area.
Because they could be tracking it.
Yeah. Because they could have a tracker on the science vessel. Also, as soon as that vessel lands, they want to search everyone for their codes to make sure like everyone's legit.
And they haven't been infiltrated.
Yeah.
which I think is, considering this is a top security installation within the Empire, you would expect it to have this amount of security. Like, as soon as that vessel's there, like Hemlock is like on it.
Yeah.
Check everyone, check the ship, in case they've got on it, So
he's not stupid. He knows how people do things. Like, the war has been going on for so long. Like, he knows everyone's tactics.
Yeah.
And also, he's had all the Empire's funds at his disposal because of this project he's working on. So it's like he has the top security he can get his hands on, like,
the top troops, that's why he has all these clone commandos with him.
So he has everything at his disposal.
So here we have the sort of perimeter turrets, like getting ready to fire.
We do. You also see the, like, I don't know what they're called.
V-rings.
These ships.
The Republic V-rings.
They're like shooting hunters.
No. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it.
Okay.
Basically,
but they're shooting it.
What happens?
Yeah.
The science vessel comes out of hyperspace, comes into the planet's orbit, and the ship detaches.
That's it. Yeah.
Then the V-wings spot it because they were sort of expecting it.
Yeah.
And they give chase.
Yep.
And the perimeter guns start shooting.
Yeah.
As well as the V-wings.
The lasers.
Yeah.
So then Omega is with her friends, and they're playing this like game with the little chip pieces, and then they see the table like vibrating, and then all the other kids, they're like, what's going on? And then Omega is like, I know what's happening.
They found me.
My brothers have found me.
No, she's like, they found me. And then the Jax, I think, is like, who? And then she's like, my brothers. It's like, oh, yeah, she knew. And also, can I just give a shout out to our little mate? Where is he? Oh no, where is he? There he is.
Yay!
Our little mate.
He's so cute. Love him. And he's got his little teddy.
And we love him. And he has become one of the stars of the show.
He has. He's like the Grogu of the Bad Batch.
If I had to save Batcher,
yeah,
or
him,
Bien,
yeah,
I'm saving little Bien. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Batcher, but he's so cute.
He is.
I really
and
hope
he's just
nothing
a little
happens.
baby.
I hope nothing happens to him.
I hope too.
And
I love how
Sammy.
Yeah, she's just been babysitting him the whole time.
She's
so
always
sweet.
the one that's like holding him or putting him in bed when he's like sleeping. He's so cute. I just want to give him a shout.
Yeah.
Trooper of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like the little llama cat looking. The one with the little teddy. Love him. He's so cute. And little Eva's still got the Luna doll as well.
Yeah.
So sweet. Love it. So yeah, we see these go off, and also
these turrets as well, if you look, they are the sort of same as the ones you see on the Death Star.
They are.
So this is a good indication this is Imperial tech now.
Yeah.
Instead of more Republic. So this starting to see more Imperial influence.
Yeah.
Instead of Republic.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah.
So yeah, and then obviously
they're starting to shoot it down. Hunter's realizing that, we're gonna have to exit this ship. So they get these like cables, and they're hanging on to them. So Wrecker and Crosshair go first. So they bring the cable down and they sort of tumble off the ship.
Yep.
Rampart is scared for his life, and it's actually quite hilarious because seeing him come from like this high commanding Imperial officer. He was like vice admiral or something. And then obviously like Tipoca City and Senator Tucci and all that happened, and then he was like doing like community service type thing, and now he's sort of gradually feeling a bit of power because he's like, you can't get to Tantis without me, kind of thing. And now he's being forced to do this, and he's like, this is not what I signed up for, kind of thing. But
and
yeah,
then his cable gets jammed.
He's so scared for his life. He's like, I'm not gonna do this. And then Hunter kind of grabs him and he's like, come on, we've got to get off the ship. Yeah, his cable jams. And then Hunter like shoots at the
mechanism.
Yeah.
So it lowers, but then Rampart sort of grabs onto his side and they both tumble.
Yeah, so he kind of grabs Rampart and they both go down.
Yeah. And then the shuttle basically gets shot up a little bit more, and then
blows up
because it's on autopilot. It crashes down into the jungle.
Yep.
And one of the sort of Imperial technicians,
he's like, the ship's down.
And Rampart's immediately like, right, send a crew to search it.
Yeah.
And he's also saying like, put the base in lockdown.
Yep.
As like a precaution as well.
Search the jungle.
Yeah.
So then there's quite a funny little scene where you see Echo and Wrecker, and they're like,
Echo, what do you mean Crosshair?
Sorry, Crosshair and Wrecker.
Oh, we're forgetting Echo as well, actually.
Yeah, so Echo is, meanwhile, Echo is on the ship, and he's thinking like, right, I need to go into the system and find out more information. So obviously he's got this like droid arm. It's like putting it into the system, and then he's keeping a lookout because there's this droid going around. I can't remember what they're called now. There's one in Rebels.
Yes, there's one in Rebels.
But basically it's the droid that like circulates
sort of, like,
and makes sure everything's
it?
fine.
Like
yeah.
The big eyes and it.
He's like kind of a dark blue droid. So he sees him coming and he quickly unplugs and like hides. Meanwhile, he takes out a TK trooper.
No, because he took out the TK last episode.
Oh, did
but
he?
We see him hide the TK.
Yeah, because I saw him with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we see him take out the TK last episode at the end.
Yeah.
But
this
then
episode,
he sort of hides him away, and then
he thinks, right, I'm not going to get anywhere with this armor, so he puts on the TK armor.
And does this mean it's the last time we've seen Echo's armor?
It might be.
Shame. It was very unique with the sort of like bits that could fit the head bit. But yeah, so he changes into his TK armor, and then he sort of does the hand, like his little socket into the
little hand thing.
Yep, so get some more information.
Yep.
And the droid comes back. He's like, "You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing?"
Yeah. She's like, "You don't have authorization to be here," and he's like, "I was just checking the manifest." And then she's like, "This isn't okay." Like, obviously he's talking in a clone voice and she's thinking TKs aren't clones. So before she does anything, he shoots her with his blaster. And then he realizes, okay, I've got a droid arm. Why don't I just steal her hand and then I'll look more like a TK trooper? So he's going around with his hand and he makes this really funny pun as he walks out of the door. He's like, thanks for the hand. Love it.
And it's quite interesting. It's almost like, I don't know if they have been represented before. I don't think they would, especially within the Empire. But technically, he is considered probably our first. Well, not really. I was going to say like
a cyborg
or paraplegics, but like.
That's true.
Because he's got like a hand. Like a robotic hand, so it's like he's technically the first Empire with a rope, like which is quite cool.
That is cool. So let's look at the next picture. So we have the TKs going through the jungle looking for any remains.
Because they land in the Republic gunships at the crash
that was
site.
it. They land at the crash site, and then there's no bodies. So then they call to like the office, and there's that like officer has that funny looking helmet. Like the ones with the black helmets, which have like
Imperial
the longer
technicians.
That's the one.
Ones we see on the like Death Star.
Yeah. So there's one of them, and she gives them the command to search the entire jungle to try and locate where they are, because clearly they're still alive.
Yeah.
And
then we cut to the Bad Batch walking through, and they
yeah.
Crosshair and Wrecker meet up with Wrecker, with Hunter.
So Crosshair and Wrecker, they're walking, and then Wrecker says like, "Oh, where's Hunter?" And then Crosshair's just like, "He'll find us. I'm going the right way. Like I've been here before. I know where I'm going."
And then his hand's like shit. He's
like, "I never wanted to come back here." And yeah,
shakes his hand. It's like, oh.
It's like, no, what did they do to you, Crosshair? Anyway, then Hunter comes out from behind a tree, and then Wrecker's like, "Oh, Hunter," and then Crosshair's like, "I told you he'd find us." And then they go, "Is Rampart alive?" And then Hunter goes, "Unfortunately, yes."
Rampart's like, "I can hear you."
Yeah. Rampart has a go at them, and he's just like, "Oh, if you weren't defective clones, you would know how to do things properly." So yeah, they're walking through the jungle. Then Rampart decides he wants to sit down.
No, because he has that. He chats with Crosshair first, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "You're like me, loyal to no one but yourself." And Crosshair's like, "I've changed."
Yeah.
And Rampart's like,
"Sure you have."
Yeah, sure you have. Like,
yeah.
Basically instigating that like Crosshair still is only thinking about himself, basically.
Yeah. Which I don't think so. I think Crosshair's changed.
Yeah, same.
So Rampart decides he wants to have a sit down, and then he decides to sit on a bear. In fairness, it's very well blended in.
And we did see it in one of the, I think it was episode 2.
Yeah.
Or no, episode. How many did we start the season off with? Was it 3 or 2?
3.
So yeah,
I think it was the third
3.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So in episode 3, when they escaped Tantus, we see one of these ones sort of attacking the like Luger hounds and all that.
Yeah.
Also, we're mentioning that we actually at the crash site we see the Imperials with the Luger hounds
on like
and I was
leashes.
Like, yeah, I forgot about the others. Yeah. We haven't seen Batcher in a while.
I know,
but she's probably with Fee, I think. So it's all good. Now, one thing I will say here. Now, I said it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter has the incredible tracking ability and sense, and they even used it earlier in this series when he had back in by Fennec.
Yeah.
For the bounty, and I just don't understand how Hunter didn't see the bear.
Yeah.
Like, Hunter's this great tracker. He would have been able to have been like, "Oh my god, there's a bear over there," from like miles away. But he just didn't seem to notice it.
No.
So I was a little bit like, something I think he should have done, or it's maybe a little mistake, but nothing major. But,
no. I mean, he was very blended in, and like Hunter,
you can't miss it.
Hunter was kind of like over there, so I don't think he quite realized that it was there. And obviously, there's a lot of creatures in the jungle, so who knows?
And it's a bloody big bear thing.
He is very big, and Rampart again is frightened for his life, and obviously the other group, like the Bad Batch, they're very used to staying stealthily. They're like, okay, we're scared, but we're not going to make much of a noise because we've got these people out for us. And Rampart's there like, ah!
And Wrecker covers his mouth and he's like...
He does, yeah. And then Wrecker gets like basically
then,
wiped out by this bear.
No, and then what happens is they all sort of run.
Yeah.
Hunter sort of dives out the way, gets his knife out. Crosshair then like hits it with like the butt of his gun, and then
Wrecker gets on top of it, doesn't he?
Chucks him off, and then he's like, oh, and then he comes over and he's like, smacks him with the claw, and he like hits a tree.
Yeah.
And you can actually see in Wrecker's armor,
claw mark.
The claw is like properly pierced his chest armor. It's like, oh
my gosh! And Hunter even goes like, "Watch out!" And then he still gets knocked out by the bear.
Yeah, and we see that Rampart has ran off, and he falls over.
Obviously, because he's there going, he runs off. The batch are kind of away from him, and then Crosshair goes like, "Where's Rampart?" And the TKs are like, "Oh, look, there he is." They start firing.
No, they say there they are, and they start shooting at the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay.
Because he's on his own at this point, and then he falls at the feet of some TK troopers.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, the bear comes across the TK troopers that were shooting at the Bad Batch.
Yeah, because the bear can obviously see the sound and the light, and he's just gone over to them and saved the batch now.
Basically. But then this is the last we see of Rampart.
Yeah.
And we see the Bad Batch, or Crosshair and Hunter, helping Wrecker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the last we see of them in the episode as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Tantis, Omega is like, look, I need you guys to cover for me. Because all the doctors apart from Dr. Skolder, have all sort of disappeared to like go in lockdown and all that. Mm-hmm. So she's like, right, I need you to sort of cover for me. And they're like, cover for you? Like,
yeah, like they don't know. They don't have a clue.
They have no clue.
Omega is like a soldier now, whereas they're just like innocent kids. They're like, what do you mean?
Yep.
And she's just like, you'll think of something. And then
and meanwhile, Bien is still just playing away with his little teddy.
He's like all tired. Bless him. Love him.
So she sneaks, takes the panel off.
She does. Yeah.
The wall, and goes up the tunnel. Well, they're not tunnels, but the inner wall.
Yeah.
Avoiding all these little droid carrying like machines.
Yeah.
And she then comes across. I know it's not a really great picture, but it is the best you are going to get.
Yeah.
She comes across this massive sort of pool of water with like some sort of force field above it. And we see Nazillo Beast.
Yep. So if you guys don't know, this is a creature that was in the Clone Wars that they found on a planet. I can't remember the name. They took it to Coruscant for like examining. It ended up breaking free.
Kaiju style.
Yeah, it was a nightmare over Coruscant. They managed to like neutralize it, and then Palpatine wanted to clone it. Then we saw in season 2 of the Bad Batch, the episode Metamorphosis, there was like a smaller version of the Zilla Beast, which was a clone of it.
And it just grew and grew.
It kept eating electricity, grew and grew and grew, and then Tech sort of scanned it, and he was like, this is the same beast that attacked Coruscant, like the same species. My gosh. And then you sort of see the gunships with Scorch leading them, and they take it away, and clearly they took it to Tantis, and now we know that.
Yeah. But we don't know what happened to the original Zilla Beast.
No.
But we do know that Scorch and Hemlock, because if you remember, this was on its way to Tantis.
Yeah.
But it crashed because it broke free on the ship. Like it was very alien-like, wasn't it? But yeah, so this is the cloned version, and we can see it's in some sort of containment thing.
Yeah.
One of those like plasma turret things that we see in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch to sort of subdue it.
Yeah.
Used on it to sort of, because it seems to be like coming out so that it's like bzzz.
Yeah.
So you clearly know that the Zilla Beast is gonna break free through Omega's help or something.
Yeah.
And then the Zilla Beast is gonna wreak havoc on Tantus. Be quite fun.
Yep.
So yeah, and I think it was quite a big sort of reveal, really, wasn't it?
Yep. I mean, this is a creature you do not want breaking free. So, a bit nervous to see what happens next, but
yeah,
who knows?
And
Omega's seen her ticket out of there.
Yeah, and then while she's doing this, Dr. Scolder and the sort of droid comes down to the vault.
Yeah.
And they all sort of look at each other like, oh, what are we going to do? Bugger. So Sammy puts little tired Ben in his little room.
He does, yeah.
And then Sammy's like, oh, I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
And Scolder's like, you'll be fine.
Yeah. She's like, it'll pass.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then it's Eve.
Then Eva, she's having her blood taken. And then she's like, I don't feel very well. And then
she gets the droid.
Dr. Scolder's like, right, do a diagnosis scan on specimen. I can't remember the name that she calls it. SB187 or whatever. So she scans him, and then sees that there's nothing wrong with Eva. And
then Jax is like,
he's
like, do me next.
Can I go next? And she's like, wait your turn.
And then she walks in, and there's Omega.
And Omega's right there,
waiting, giving her the look. It's like, oh,
yeah, and it's like, yes, she made it.
And then they all sort of reconverge.
She always makes it by the skin of her teeth. It's very much like
Well, it makes you. It's very cleverly done because it makes it out that it's like it's all done on the skin of her teeth, but. You know, from what we know, she could have been there like a little bit because you got to remember she's got to get in, and refit the like wall. So she's got to have been there a little bit and been like, "Hey, you're right, mate." Yeah,
I think it's very similar to the Escape from Alcatraz film, but with Clint Eastwood, it's very much like, right, let's find a way out of it. But
way out.
Yep. Again. Yep. Narkina 5, very similar.
Yep. And then they sort of all reconvene in the little vault, little table area bit.
So after she's taken their blood or whatever, she goes away, and then they all go back to the table, and they're like, what took you so long? And she's like, I found something. I found something big that's going to help us get out of here.
I'm going to need your help.
I'm going to need your guys' help.
It's like, ooh.
And it's like, ooh, what's she going to do?
Yep. We also see that now Tech has found a way.
Echo.
Sorry.
So this is Echo in his TK armor.
So we see him very cleverly again escape the science vessel through the little droid chute.
Yeah, because we see him plug into a port, and then he's like scanning where Omega is.
No. He goes in. And he comes down the chute, and he's on the base now, and he blends in with another group of troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then I remember. He goes and plugs into another port and finds sort of a map to the lab.
Yeah.
Goes to the lab, and he's like doing some, again, plugs in.
Yeah.
And he sees like all the different blood samples and that, and then he sees like Omega and other clones.
Yeah, that was it.
And then Emery walks in.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like trying to hide, and he's like walking away. But she sees that he's got like a fake hand. So when he goes to walk away, and she's like, Echo, isn't it? And then he just sort of stops and is like, what? And she's like, oh, Omega has talked a lot about you. I'm Emery Carr. And he's like, Omega said a lot about you as well. Like, and then
she's like, Omega said her squad would come for her.
Yeah.
And then Echo's like,
how can
not
you do
just
this?
For her, but for all the prisoners.
Yeah.
You being here, and then
he's sort of like, how can you do this? And she's like, I was just doing my job. And then he takes off his helmet and sort of shows her, look, I'm a clone.
he's like, you're a clone.
You're a clone. Why are you doing this?
Because it's the title of our episode.
It is.
You're
a
a clone.
How can you be part of this? So.
And she's like, look, I'm going to help you. Because he's like...
Yeah. He's like, where's Omega? And she's like, she's
vault,
in the vault. You're not going to get in there alone. I'm going to need to help you. Like, free them, basically.
Yeah. And then it basically ends there.
It does.
And here we have last sort of Echo.
Yeah.
Now, I said this to you, and I've seen some people on sort of social media doing, like, making the same comparison.
Yeah.
When Fives died, he was in his, like, reg, like, he was in a stolen reg trooper armor.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing, like, Echo in, like, a stolen reg armor. It's a TK armor, but it's still, like, stolen clone reg armor. And it's almost like the similarities are quite...
Yeah.
And it's like, does this mean something's going to happen to Echo? Oh, I don't know.
I hope not.
And the episode ends.
Yeah.
So, like I said, most of the players are on the board for the finale. Omega has found out that the place is holding the Zillo Beast.
Yeah.
And they can use the Zillo Beast to get out.
Yeah. And she knows that her brothers are going to be there to help her.
Yeah. Echo is in Tantis.
Yeah.
Actually in the base with Emery.
Yeah.
And they're going to work to get Omega and the other clones and that out.
Yeah.
Wrecker, Crosshair, and Hunter are in the jungle on Tantis.
Yep.
But Wrecker, we don't know how damaged or hurt he is with the mark.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think that will be alluded to next episode. But you could clearly see that he's got like a massive cut across his arm. So he might be a bit hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So those three are going towards Tantis.
Mm-hmm.
Rampart has been captured, so he's going to be taken. So we've got Hemlock is obviously in Tantis as well. So for me, the only other players that I don't think are on the board yet for the finale, but are going to show up, Rex and his like crew. There's going to be some sort of... They're going to come in and help. They can't just have Rex not help out now. You know, like, you're going to have Rex, maybe Wolf's with him, Cody. You've also got the clone assassin. He's got to play a part in this at some point.
Yeah, I want to know who he is.
We're going to find out next week. Is it Tech? Is it Cody? Is it Fives? Could you imagine if it was Fives and ended up killing it?
No,
oh my god.
No.
This is too much. This is too much. So we've got that.
I think there's a possibility that Hemlock needs backup. So he's going to try and get more squads there. And obviously, Wolf has his own squad. So I think there is quite a high possibility Wolf might be sent to Tantis to help out on an intruder. And he's like, oh, it's the Bash again. So
it's interesting.
That might be something.
You know, like going on to what you just said, like a theory you said about he's going to need backup.
Yeah.
Is Hemlock going to be? Is he going to message Palpatine and be like, "I need backup," and then Palpatine's going to send Vader?
Ooh, true.
Because it's very, it's an important thing.
Could we see?
Are we going to see a Star Destroyer?
Or Sev?
No.
Because they're commandos. They could be backup.
I know.
That would be cool.
Are we going to see maybe Thrawn and the Chimera? Are we going to see a Star Destroyer? Who knows?
Who knows what we're going to get? But I can't wait for it. And the end of this episode, because it just ended on a cliffhanger, it's like, right, you're going to need my help to get in there. And it's like, okay. And then it's credits. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, no! I want to bloody watch it.
It's too intense.
I want to watch the next episode.
It's
I
gonna
can't wait.
It's gonna have to be like an hour long. Or,
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna have to get
Because
up
I think the first
early
ever episode was like 1 hour.
and watch it as soon as it's released because I cannot wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
No.
I think it made. You know, I think the first one was like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah.
Or nearly 2 hours. So you know, like,
It's gonna be a long one because there's a lot to get through, and like if there's not gonna be another series or something to connect this to Rebels and talk a bit about Rex and his crew, then it's like I don't know. There's gonna have to be something.
what if here's a good thought. What if Rex turns up in one of the clone tanks?
Ooh,
Like
the
we
ATT.
see at the end of Rebels, or we see in Rebels that Rex and his crew have turned into like a fishing. Yep. So,
what if Echo somehow contacts Rex?
Well, this is what he was getting in loads of information.
Yeah.
So I reckon he is somehow relayed it to Rex.
Somehow contact Rex. What if Rex has contact with Ahsoka?
Oh, I know, but I don't want to see Ahsoka right now. I want to see Cody.
Yeah.
I want to see Fixer, Sev.
I know, but so far this is the only Dave Filoni series that we've not seen Ahsoka, and I'm like,
I know,
are we gonna see
you
her?
don't really need to see
But
her.
also, it makes the scene in Rebels not so special then, because it's like she's not seen him for literal decades.
Yes, I know, but she also knows where he is. That's the only other thing.
Yeah.
She knows he's on this planet with the clones.
Yeah.
How does she know that? It's too much.
I know, and I just want to watch it right now.
I know. Right.
Could they have not released them both at the same time?
I know. Right. Trooper of the week. You have one for us today.
I do. It's someone that's been Troop of the week before. But he's changed his name and he's got a new cosplay. I'll show you. I'll just get him up. So it's called Alpine Django, and he's from Alpine Vader's garrison.
Hey.
He used to be a 501st clone trooper. However, he's recently got approved for Jango Fett. So now he's called Alpine Django. And this is his very cool Jango Fett cosplay.
That's very cool. Alpine Django, I like it.
That was his 501st armor, though. Very cool. But yeah, he's got a Jango Fett now. There's a closer picture of like his helmet. Very cool. So that's my Trooper of the week because he came up the other day and I was like, "What's this, Jango?" But yeah, then I realized he changed his name. But yeah, very cool. We love the 501st, but Jango's very cool too.
Yep. Now mine is someone we've mentioned before. But this is very cool, especially with what we mentioned about the Phantom Menace earlier.
Yeah.
So it's J. Guy Hunter,
famous
guy who's done like Rex cosplay. He's done a lot of other ones. He's very good. His clones are very good.
Yeah.
And he makes all his own stuff and that. Now he's made a costume lately, especially like a helmet. He's made the like Jar Jar Binks helmet, the like Ahmed Best wear. So it was literally like a bike helmet with a visor and then Jar Jar's like head like on top. And he's made it, and I will admit it looks really good. And I can imagine there will be pictures of him probably going to see Phantom Menace wearing this outfit. Yeah. And I just think it was something a bit different and a bit cool because, we've all seen the like behind the scenes pictures of Ahmed wearing it.
Yeah.
And it's nice seeing someone actually make it themselves. So.
I mean, like, during the filming, they had to have something on top of his head because Jar Jar's like a very tall character. And
they needed somewhere to look.
Something to look at that looked like Jar Jar, so it was like they were talking to the actual character because obviously he's all CGI, isn't he? So they made it for that reason, and I think it's cool.
Yeah. So shout out Jaeger Hunter.
Jaeger Hunter. Yeah.
Going on to meme of the week. This is a bit of a sequel and a prequel.
So,
It's
Anakin and Kylo Ren have a conversation through the Force. So Kylo says, "Grandfather, what advice do you have for me?" And then Anakin says, "When a man with the high ground tells you don't try it, you should listen to him. Otherwise, you get your arms and your legs taken off and you
get
burn in the
burned."
lava."
Yeah, I thought this was quite a funny little simple one. So
very funny,
yeah.
And it's true because Kylo Ren, like he's obsessed with his grandfather, so I could see this happening, him trying to contact him through the Force and be like, "What advice do you have for me to finish your legacy?" He's like, "Don't burn in the lava, mate."
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
No.
But yeah, so that's about it for today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. Next week, like we said, we will be back about 12-ish, lunchtime-ish next Thursday.
We'll let you know on our stories.
Yes, but be there because it's the Bad Batch finale breakdown.
And then the week after is going to be Tales of the Empire.
Tales of the Empire. I keep saying it.
I keep making that mistake as well, but yeah.
But yeah,
Tales of the Empire.
We will see you guys there.
May the Force be